Biafra time. The time now is 9 minutes past the hour of 5 in the holy and blessed land of Biafra. And today is the 24th day of March 2024. The 24th day of March 2024. We have gathered this morning, this Sunday, here on Radio Biafra, because this is where we worship. This is where we conscientize ourselves. This is where we motivate ourselves. Today, we will be here having discussions, having contributions like we usually do on this platform. If you are anywhere in Biafra land and in some part of the zoo, you can tune in by going to 102.1 FM on your radio. 102.1 FM on your radio. We are streaming live on various platforms. We are streaming live on satellite. We are streaming live on various apps such as Radio Biafra, IPOB Community Radio, and on Simple Radio. You can visit our websites on ipob.org and radiobiafra.co to read the latest news and general information about this struggle. I also encourage you to go to ipob.org to make donations towards this struggle. You know that there is nothing that you do in life that you do not have a price to pay for. And for you to be able to achieve any success, especially in this regards, in this war against terrorism, in this fight against terrorism, then you must be equipped. You must be equipped not just with phones and phone number, but with proper equipment to be able to do the work properly and dislodge terrorists from our forest. I encourage you to join us in our march to mental emancipation by sharing this information that I have given you this morning concerning how to be part of this program, and share this information with your friends, with your family, with your colleagues, just with anybody that you can, including your enemy. Do not forget to like and follow us on our various platforms on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, etc. Do not forget to follow us on these various platforms. And like I said, today is the 24th day of March 2024, and today is 5 days. 5 days after the Nigeria government messed up themselves in their court, and they had an opportunity. They had an opportunity to free Nnamdi Kanu, but they did not. They did not, because they understand from the beginning that they are fighting to the end. They did not come to pretend to be fighting. No, they came to fight to an end, and therefore every single one of us who is involved in thinking for the betterment of your lives, in thinking for the betterment of your system, the way things work, where you are from, then you must understand that that kind of mindset needs a full-time responsibility. It is a full-time responsibility. It needs dedication. It needs a fight to an end mentality. You must understand that, because those that are fighting, that you are fighting against, those that are making it possible that you are living the way you are living, they have that understanding that it is a fight to the end. They have it in mind that this is a fight that they must fight until an end. And therefore I ask you, what is your mindset today? What mindset do you have? What mindset do you have for coming into the struggle? And before we go into that this beautiful Sunday morning, I want to call on the Nigeria government to release Mazi Kanu, because Mazi Kanu did not commit any crime known to law. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not commit any crime known to law. Now, there is something funny about the Nigeria government when it comes to reasonable policy. When it comes to reasonable policy, a policy that is meant to promote the lives of Nigerians, you find them unwilling to do anything. Let's say one government starts it, and after 4 years the person leaves. What happens is the next person that will come into office will make sure that that is shelved. Will make sure that that doesn't happen anymore. But when you look at injustice in Nigeria, it is a continuous project. They never let it down. When you bet on Nigeria as a headquarter of injustice, it will always pay off for you. It will never let you down. Nigeria as a headquarter of injustice. This is an innocent man that was abducted by Nigeria government during the tenure of the late Buhari. They used the instrumentality of the state to bring this innocent man in, to abduct him and extraordinarily rendition him into Nigeria. And today you have a Yoruba man there. He has left. You now have a Yoruba man there, Tinubu. And he has continued this legacy of terrorism against the people. He has continued this legacy of terrorism against the people. Why is this the case? Because this is the fundamental policy of Nigeria. The fundamental policy of Nigeria is to terrorize Nigeria. Nigeria cannot exist if it does not terrorize its citizens. It cannot exist. Any day Nigeria stops terrorizing its citizens, that day Nigeria stops existing. That day Nigeria stops existing. Nigeria was built on a platform where the people did not build Nigeria. Have you ever found a country that the people didn't build? Even Nigeria was not even built for Nigerians. Hence, when they made a decision on what Nigeria is and the definition, when they made a definition of Nigeria, they did not include the human beings. They said it is a geographical location. It is a geographical location. They have no interest in the people. Actually, if the people can stop existing, the better for them. The better for them. Now, we are calling on Nigeria government to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He committed no crime. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, was abducted from Kenya on the 19th of June 2021 by the Nigeria government. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was tortured in Kenya for 8 days, after which he was smuggled into Nigeria by the Nigeria government. And since then, he has been held unlawfully at the DSS solitary confinement in Abuja. Various courts have made rulings saying release this innocent man. He is supposed to be released. He is innocent of any crime. Even the courts in Nigeria said that this man must not be tried in any of their court. Even the United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention declared that the extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a violation of international human rights and ordered his immediate and unconditional release. Despite all of this, Nigeria government has continued to ignore this opinion. Nigeria government has ignored the opinion of various courts, the decisions of various courts, including its own and international courts, which has discharged and acquitted this innocent man, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. What did the Nigeria government do? they resorted to torture, severe torture, severe physical and psychological torture. Okay, that was our leader Nnamdi Kanu speaking in court. I will play it just now, but I want to also remind you that on the 14th day of September 2017, Nigeria government tried to assassinate Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Before I play his voice, I need you to understand this. That Nigeria government is a lawless government with their army, very lawless army. And the more you allow Nigeria to continue, the more you are creating more and more problems. The more problems you are creating. They failed to kill this innocent man on the 14th day of September 2017. They failed to kill him, but they massacred people in his house. They left a massacre, a horrific scene. At least 28 people slaughtered that day at his home. 14th day of September 2017. By the Nigeria government using their army and the rest of them. And today, the same terrorist infested army, the same terrorists who are wearing military uniform, are still making a caricature of themselves. Instead of releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they went and added the name of Mazi Chikeduzem to their list. Because this injustice has been allowed to continue. It has been allowed to continue, so they feel they can do anything and get away with it. The Nigeria government must be cut down to its size. It must be cut down to its size. Because this is not just about us. This is not just about the Biafran people. There is one thing about injustice, and that is the fact that the moment you leave injustice to fester, the more you are saying to yourself, this is okay to happen to me. So whether you are in America, you are in Russia, you are basically saying this is okay. It is okay for this to happen to me. Whether you are in South Africa, whether you are in wherever you are in Egypt, you are simply saying it is okay for this to happen to me. It is okay. And this was the situation of Nigerians 1966, 1945 to today, until they are now seeing the repercussions that when they slaughtered the children of Biafrans and they said, no, these are Biafrans, they are Nnamdi, they slaughtered them. Today, their children are being slaughtered because they allow themselves to be used. They allow themselves to say it is okay for this to happen. And today, it is happening to them. Today, who is the person who is even telling the world about what is happening in their place? It is the same Biafrans. It is us, IPOB. There is total media blackout on them. And we are here saying that should not be allowed to happen. Look at the slaughter that happened in Biafra State, in Delta State, by the Nigeria Army. The Nigeria Army is a menace to any army anywhere in the world. It is a danger, not just to Nigerians, but to any army anywhere in the world. Now, let's listen to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Today, we will be having a conversation because it is Sunday. Therefore, our conversation will be about service. I know it's probably the last thing you expect to hear today, but our conversation is about service, and service brings growth. There is something about service that you must know as we are in this phase of our struggle. There is something important about service that we all must know, especially at this time in this struggle. Now let's listen to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as he talks about the psychological and physical torture that the Nigerian government has pushed him into. That the Nigeria government is torturing him severely. Now let's listen.
Things so result that they change your mind. Now using it to do experiment at USSS. That's it. That's a lot of stuff. My right not be my right to take mostly this sort of it. Doesn't just that is why that's your health condition. What exactly is wrong with you, sir? Congestive heart failure is called. From the reputation we can tell. So that basically means that we are alive. So when they calculate that, I'm not ready for the market, I want to pack up with it, they'll not say go. So when I go outside, I will die outside. That's what I'm trying to do. The medications they've been giving to you, yes. Some of the water, no, it's not working. It is working. Those lumps underneath my... And he has written a petition to the Nigerian Medical Association. Where they got him acted to somebody who's not a doctor to treat the kind of thing. They don't think that they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. So what is your application with the court? What do you want? Is seeking for a non-custodial arrangement to the court. It says not arrest. Exactly. Never mind arrest. Because I repeat, in this court I repeat government of Nigeria. The rule will see. What is the government? What is it? How is it? Please introduce it to what are you doing today? It's wrong. Some of this doesn't charge me for. I don't know, I'm doing maybe I don't know, impregnating the wife of somebody. Are you saying you are innocent and all it?
You know, our leader is a very funny man. He said they've tortured him. He explained the torture. They torture to the point where even the Nigeria, their medical association cannot even offer any help. They couldn't even offer any sort of help. To the point where he has lumps underneath his arm. That is the level of the torture that the Nigeria government is meting out on this innocent man. The same government that is breaking all these laws is the same government that is talking about having a court day, having their day in the court. So you know that their court is just useless. Their court is simply useless. Now this morning we'll speak on service. If you do not know what service is, look at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and think of service. Service is not Sunday service, where we go, we dance, we jump up, we clap our hands, we make ourselves happy, and we go home. No, that is not service. Now, I want to tell you this story of a judge. This judge who got invited to a conference in London. A conference that only top judges of the world gets invited to, you know. So when he went to, he prepared, got his bags ready. His wife dropped him at the airport, Murtala Mohammed Airport. The wife dropped him there. So he went to a restaurant to eat with his wife. He went in there to eat while he was waiting. He was waiting for his boarding time to reach. So, you know, before long he had a man arguing with a waitress in that restaurant. A man was arguing with a waitress about a legal issue, because it seems like the man was dissatisfied with the service of the waitress, and they were having some sort of argument. So the waitress looked at the man and he asked for his opinion. Actually, he asked for his opinion. So the man, being let's call him this, an Iroko of the law, let's call him that. I learned that during this period. Okay, so being a legal luminary, he decided to chip in 1 cent of his knowledge. He was eager to chip in 1 cent of his knowledge. But then something happened. The man that was arguing with this woman turned around to look at the man that the waitress was asking, for his opinion. And upon seeing him, he hissed and he spat on him. He hissed, he spat on him. He then called him names, wicked judge, said a lot of awful things about him. He basically disgraced him. So now it seems like this man had once crossed his path, because the way he disrespected him, you'd be sure that this man has crossed his path. And this is what the judge also thought. He thought to himself, oh, then I must have met this man before. You don't just go off like that on somebody that you don't know, especially calling him a wicked judge. How did this man know that he is a judge, somebody in the legal profession, especially a judge? So he thought that to himself, but then he just pretended, tried to keep a lovely face, as if all is well, but then he knew for sure that this man had crossed his path sometime. He knew for sure that this man has crossed his path sometime. Why would he know for sure? Because if this man called him a judge and spat on him and whatnot, he thought to himself, oh, maybe he is one of those who were victimized in his court. Maybe he's one of those that a very powerful person paid and said, I don't want to lose this case. And he was at the receiving end. So as he was contemplating in shock, the man left. And as he turned to sit, his wife now came to him and said, no, forget, come, The wife was there, so the wife was saying to him, don't mind him, don't mind that idiot. So as he turned to sit, he now his eyes met so many of other judges who were going to the same conference, about 3 of them. It was very uncomfortable for him. He felt even more ashamed. So inside his mind, at that moment, he swore to deal with that guy seriously. Anytime he sees him, he swore to deal with him seriously. So 6 weeks later, he met this man again at a public function. He met him again and he got so angry. He got so angry that he started watching the movement of this man. When you are angry with someone, the person might pass without even recognizing you, and you are the one recognizing the person, right? So now he was the one looking so angry. His face was red. He was busy looking at the man going from one corner to the other. So after an hour, he saw the man going to the toilet, so he followed him into the toilet. And then that's 1 hour that he was waiting and following him. He went and to his car, brought out a gun, put in his babariga, and then was waiting for him. When he now followed him to the toilet, he now hit him on his face with a gun and then told him to follow him. Basically abducted him. He kept him in one room in his house, very huge palatial mansion, very huge. Maybe he's one of those like Bukachua's wife who sell to the highest bidder to get very palatial mansion, huge palatial mansion. So he took him there, put him in one of the rooms where no one will hear his cry or even see him. But then something happened. Somebody saw him when he left with the man at the party. Somebody saw him and then told everyone about it. So he didn't know what to do in order to get away with the kidnapping and the beating of this man. So he was just there worried. What am I going to do? He now remembered. The wife said to him, but you are a judge. You are a judge. You must find a way. He now thought, I'm a judge. I even have a court. So why don't I just bring this man into my court and pretend as if, no, I never kidnapped him. It was a police arrest. After all, nobody has made any video or any evidence against. It's just word of mouth. And I have that power as a judge to do whatever and get away with it. So he remembered that he was a judge and owns his own court, as they say, where everything he says goes. He remembers when he says to people, "You are in my court. You are in my court. This is my court." So he said, "No, it's all good. Everything will go." He then thought to himself, only if he can bring this man into his court and jail him. So in the morning, very early in the morning, he took a bath, dressed nicely, shaved his hair. Then he now took this man. He was looking so nice, you'd not even think that he's a kidnapper. He then took this man into his car and then put him in the boot and drove him to court so that he will now pronounce judgment on him. Just the way he wants to pronounce judgment. You remember that since 6 weeks he's been thinking of this man, dreaming of this man. He has even imagined how to deal with this man. And that the night this man spent in his house was very terrible. Terrible night. Terrible night. So, to cut the long story short, on his way, he was happy. At least he found a solution. He found a way to put this man in jail. So, he was even thinking of the celebration, the champagne he will drink when he returns home that night after sentencing his enemy. Just the way he wants it. So he said to himself, there's no need to even think of such celebration. Let's just leave the celebration to the imagination, So, but then he arrived at the court with a kidnapped man. Now the problem is how to try this man. How do you try? How do you begin to try this man? What crime did this man commit? Simply for saying things that you didn't like. He insulted you without exposing without exposing what you might have actually done to him. So now he remembered that, hey, I could have done something to this man, but at the same time he said to himself, well, this is my court, this is my area, nobody is going to tell me whatever. I can put this man to jail like I've put so many innocent people to jail and nothing happened. Therefore I'm going to do this and nothing will happen. Just like Binta Nyako is doing, putting an innocent man in DSS dungeon where he's being tortured every single day for 3 years now. This is what Binta Nyako did, and she is still doing it. She's still doing it. This lawyer is knee deep in injustice. Just like, what's his name again, Lateef Fagbemi, the Attorney General of Nigeria, and their kangaroo court. This is what this man I'm telling you represents. So he had no idea what justice is. Justice is whatever sounds good to him and to whoever that is paying him. Like in Nigeria, the drug dealer, the certificate forger, their president, whatever he says is what Lateef Fagbemi, the Attorney General of Nigeria, does. Is what Binta Nyako does. Because they have no idea what justice is. They just went out there, campaigned for their position and said, oh, if you give me this position, especially Lateef Fagbemi, I watched him being interviewed, and he said wonderful things about himself and justice. And today he is now the flag bearer of injustice. You ask yourself, how is it possible what kind of argument will this man that abducted this innocent man produce in court? What is the argument? When you sit down and think of it, you find out that there is no argument he will bring that will make sense. None. There is no argument he will bring that will hold water. Why? Because the argument is simply irrational. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense the same way somebody comes to me, tells me, oh, Jesus saved him, and I'm thinking, okay, that is possible. Yeah, that is possible. Then I'm asking questions, how did that happen? And he said 2,000 years ago, and I'm like, okay, how exactly did that happen? And you're telling me because he died on the cross. It doesn't even make sense. Even the gospel of Jesus is not about him dying on the cross. It's not about him dying for you. I want to teach Christians one thing now. The gospel of Jesus is not about him dying for you. It is about him showing you the way. It is about doing the things that he did. It is about his character. That is the purpose of sending Jesus, to come and show. According to the story, I'm just telling you their story, your own story. I'm telling you your own story. According to that story, this man came to rescue people. What is it that, okay, put yourself in that position back there. What is rescuing people? What is sin? Sin is disobedience to the law. For instance, the Nigeria government, if you are talking about the character of the Nigeria government in biblical terms or in religious terms, it is sin. Anybody who disobeys the law of their land has committed a sin. In our place, we call it sacrilege. We call it aro. When you commit a crime, anything that is against the customs, the traditions, the law of that land, it is a sin. It is simply disobedience to a set structure. Somebody was asking me about why my idea about a relationship with a man and a man, and I said, well, it depends on where you are. If where you are, for instance, it is not a sin in their law, then it is not a sin. But if you are in the zoo where it is a sin, where it is against the law, then it is a sin. If you are in America where it is not against the law, then it's not a sin. Then it is not a sin. So it is irrational to tell me that you don't see that this man came not to die on the cross. You limited everything he did, the miracles that you said he did, and all of these teachings to dying on the cross, to just dying. That he just, then why didn't he just die from birth if he came to just die? Why didn't when he was born as a baby and Herod was looking for him, why didn't they just get him and put him on the cross then, so that he would just die for you, since he just came to die? Since everything he did, you just limited it that he came to die. I don't know why I'm talking about it, but it doesn't make sense. This man bringing up this case to argue, just like Nigeria government is arguing in their court, it's irrational. It doesn't make sense. The same way it is irrational to kidnap someone and expect him to go through the law. It doesn't even make sense. Just like Nigeria doesn't make sense. The existence of Nigeria itself does not make any sense. Any sense. But it is the people that I blame. You understand where you're coming from. You see what Nigeria is. You see what it has done to you. You see that it has taken away your sense of identity. Why are you not asking questions? Why are you not asking questions? Because the mere fact that you continue to allow this to happen means that they will continue making it happen. They will even worsen it. They will worsen it. So where is your service to yourself? What service are you rendering to yourself? How can somebody come from somewhere, render the service of creating identity for you? How can somebody do that? You know it's a service. Did you ask for that service? And you accepted, you find Nigerians accepting this idiocy. This idiocy they call the Nigerian identity. Somebody was paid to render that service that you did not need. Somebody was paid to kill your ancestors, to kill you. And then those who are left alive to make them slaves who will be in the farm called Nigeria, farming, with nothing to show for it. Nothing to show for it. How do you allow somebody come and render the service that you did not ask for, create an identity for you, take away your identity? It is like when I tell you that I like watching EFC, you tell me no you don't. You enjoy wrestling. Imagine, you are telling me now that this is what I like. In other words, you are telling me who I am. In other words, you are also telling me who I should be. Because the moment I tell you, no, I like UFC, you say, no. It is WWE that you like. You are telling me you are simply telling me that, hey, I don't know who I am. That I'm giving false information about myself. That this is actually who you think I am. This is who I am. And this is who I should be in future. Because if what you are telling me about who I am today is different from what I know about myself, then it is a different direction to the future. The future I will have will be totally different, because who you are today, what you are doing today as a result of who you are, will take you where a different direction tomorrow. The service you are rendering to yourself today will determine where you will be tomorrow. What does nigger area mean? I don't know. It doesn't make sense. I must be able to decide my fate. I must be able to choose the service I render to myself. I must be able to decide, make decisions concerning myself, or else why am I human? What makes us human is our ability to make decisions for ourselves. The ability to say, I want to sell my organ or not. Not the one where Nigeria government makes the law and they say to you, your organs belong to the government. Not this nonsense that the Nigerian court support. The entire argument to support the existence of Nigeria does not even make sense. The entire argument to have Mazi Nnamdi appear even once in court does not make sense. Now, have you seen why nothing in Nigeria makes sense? What kind? Because the kind of service that they rendered in the creation of Nigeria is one that is a crime against humanity. Is one that doesn't even make sense. The same unreasonable argument of having Mazi Nnamdi in court, the same unreasonable argument that it is the same way that Nigeria military is now making the argument that they can put the name, the information of Mazi Chike Dozim on their website and have him wanted. A government that is not the army, that it is not their responsibility. They have even gone to court on this behalf, on this occasion, on this issue. Nigeria army lacks power to declare civilians wanted. They don't even know their service. They don't even know their position, what they are doing. How can such an army protect you? And this, go to the news. This is several news agencies carried it. Here it says Nigeria army lacks power to declare civilians wanted. Femi Falana. Now let's go to another news from their own courts. This is from Sahara Reporters. It says court rules that Nigeria army cannot declare citizens wanted. This was in 2020. This was in 2020. Court rules that Nigeria army cannot declare citizens wanted. So many news agencies covered this, including Vanguard. Nigeria army lacks power to declare a civilian wanted. So many news agencies carried this. This is from Home Angle. Nigeria army lacks power to declare people wanted. Court rules. Yeah. And this was according to a suit filed by Dr. Issa Perry Bremer, author and activist. Now you cannot say this is IPOB. The Federal High Court in Abuja has said that the Nigeria army lacks power to declare citizens wanted. You find out that Nigeria doesn't make sense. The formation of Nigeria doesn't make sense because it is based on an inferior argument. An inferior argument. That is why every single thing Nigeria government is doing, they cannot have a superior argument to back it up, because the foundation of this contraption is laid with an inferior argument. How then will you lay a foundation with an inferior argument and at some point you want to now put a superior argument on top of it? It will not make sense. It will not make sense. Nigeria army, knowing fully well that this is not your response. You know, Nigeria army doesn't even know their job. the same Nigeria army publicly said that they went to settle land dispute. Since when does the army settle disputes that are meant for the police and the court? The same way the DSS can decide who to release despite the court rulings and who not to release. That is the same way that the criminal cop, what is his name again? The one that was shamed. The criminal cop. The same way they have allowed this criminal to go scot-free. The same way. Because everything Nigeria is doing is from a place of inferior position, a place of inferior argument. And then for them to support their inferior argument, they have to threaten you. They have to threaten you. They have to make you feel threatened. They have to make you feel afraid. They have to create enough of chaos in order to make sure that you do not render the service to yourself that you are supposed to render. Now, service brings growth, that is for sure, but not how can Nigeria army grow when they don't even know the service that they are supposed to render. Now, why do I say service brings growth? Now, if you're a member of IPOB and you want IPOB to grow, then you must provide service. You can't just sit and say, oh, it is growing. Our leader said that we must read some Psalms, and therefore Chukwu Okike Abiyama said Biafra must come, and that is it. What are you doing to ensure that that word of God, that positive word of God in your life will come to pass? What are you doing? Do you know that every single time God is speaking something positive about you, isn't it? Isn't that what you've been told? Then what are you doing to bring it to come to pass? You have your pastors who tell you that dollar will be so and so amount of naira 1 to 1. They could have made it possible if they put in the right action, but they did not. And today you find out the price is just mind-blowing. In few weeks. What service are you rendering? Forget Nigeria. There is no institution in Nigeria that can render service for which it is supposed to be rendering. There is none. The court does not. It renders. It is. The court is not even responsible. You must be responsible to be able to render service. The mere fact that you are rendering any service, it shows a level of responsibility. Whether at work, whatever you do, that responsibility to get a job, that service that you are rendering is a responsibility. When you are rendering service, for instance, in IPOB, in Biafra restoration, you know that you are providing a solution to a problem. You know, therefore, that there is solution that you are bringing. That is why you are serving. You are serving to do something. As long as you are rendering that service, you are bringing a solution. After all, service in itself, in its definition, is the ability to provide a solution to a problem. I wanted to speak about this today because this fundamental principle of service is not just about the Biafran struggle or your work or this or that, pick and choose. No. This fundamental principle holds true in all aspects of life, including personal and professional development, including it service is not only about helping others, I must say. It is a journey. Every single day, service is a journey. Every single day, it is a journey. Every day you learn. Every day you learn. But then you cannot render service when you don't even know who you are. Nigerians don't know who they are. The moment you recognize who you are, the moment you realize who you are, then you can begin to render service. I'm talking about the real ultimate service to yourself. Not the service you render in the hospital, no. Yeah, that is service, that is proper service, yes. I'm not talking about that service. I'm talking about the service where that sick person that you gave free medication will not be crying and being in that position for you to render that service to begin with. Because that the government will give the person free medical service, top of the range. Not just free medical service, but top of the range. Top of the range. But you must start on you must have a superior argument. Why are you rendering this service? Why are you bringing this solution? Onyendu said that he's not going to. He said he wants to appear in a court where the trial will be free and fair. And you must know that Onyendu has always said this. He never had issues with the Nigerian courts. He even said that he would come back himself to face the Nigerian court if there are guarantees. And today, even the international community that he asked for guarantees in his broadcast are still quiet. He's in the zoo, they are quiet. No guarantees from them about the service of the court. None. Therefore, today, the service towards the freedom of Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and towards the restoration of Biafra is one that we must pay close attention to. Is one that we must put in our best. If we are going on 100 now, we increase it to 160. You know, cars going on 100. For some people, it's top speed. Roads, like in Nigeria roads, you barely find roads that you can drive on 100. Now is the time to go to 160 to render more service. To render more service to your people. Do not look at the argument of Nigeria. The argument of Nigeria will never make sense. Because typical of Nigeria, nothing makes sense. The Nigeria, you know, Nigeria think that they can come with an argument that doesn't make sense and expect us to budge. How can you say a man you broke the law to bring into the country should face the same law that you clearly shows you have no regards for? A man that the Attorney General of their federation, the man in charge of justice, their Minister of Justice, was part and parcel of their injustice, of the injustice of the committing of crimes, breaking of laws to bring in. How can such a lawbreaker, a country that has disregard for its laws, talk about another person respecting their own law? You see that the zoo government is just unreasonable. Just unreasonable. So they cannot provide the service that they are supposed to, and therefore I support our leader's call that he mustn't go to Nigeria courts because they have failed. If Nigeria courts want to be fair, then they must release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because one, he was extraordinarily renditioned. Now, speaking of this, yesterday I spoke about what I think of Barrister Ejimako, and I don't want to drag that issue anymore. But I must still bring it up once more. I see Eba Nakbo Ishika Nakbo Ahonu. His incoherent speeches about the involvement of Onyendu with anyone causing insecurity in our land, for me, it is worrying. It is worrying. We have seen videos where he refused to respond to questions of Simon Ekpa, the Ekperima. We have seen videos of that. We have seen where he even said that this criminal is really doing things the way Onyendu, because he basically said that the followers of this criminal are the followers of Mazi Nnamdi. So his intention on that area is a great concern to me. I haven't laid any allegation against him that is not in the public domain. I'm saying that he is incoherent. His intention on that area is a great concern to me, especially after reading about the next level Nigeria is ready to use the criminals they recruited and deployed into our land for. This is according to information released on Mazi Sochinma's social media platform profile on Friday. Now, let me read this to you. This is why I am concerned about the kind of service he's providing. If he's providing the IPOB type of service or the Nigerian type of service, the Nigerian type of service is an irrational type of service. That doesn't make sense. Somebody doesn't make sense when somebody says two different things, two conflicting things at the same time. That person is irrational. That person is bringing the Nigerian kind of service, and it is worrying for me. It is worrying for me. Now, like I said, I don't want to drag this issue out, so I know why I want to talk about this today, because I need him to go out there and say exactly what he wants to say. Say exactly what is the point. Because we are seeing a lot of issues concerning in the area of insecurity, being the area that Nigeria government have been using to attack our leader. Go out there and render your service to our leader. Clear his name. The same thing you said in court when our leader was talking about anybody using criminality, committing criminality in the name of, you are the one who said in the name of Biafra. That is not a member, a follower, an IPOB member. Go out there and say that thing the way you said it. Go out, say it. Let us know where you really stand. Now, it is that irrationality, that double standards that is what I have been seeing. This is why I'm very what word should I use? I'm very worried about your service. This is why I'm very worried. In the beginning, you were jumping up, perambulating up and down, talking about how you brought in the extraordinary rendition. Hey, Mr. Extraordinary Rendition. That was what you were calling yourself. And you said that because of extraordinary rendition, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should not be tried in Nigeria courts. And today, after 3 years, you are still implementing trial in the same court you said he shouldn't be tried. It is worrying for me. It is worrying for me. Therefore, the decision of Onyendu that no more court, he shouldn't ever be brought into Nigeria courts until there is until there is an agreement, until there is a proof that it will be free and fair. And for me, asking me what is going to be proven enough for it to be free and fair, first of all, once he appears in the Binta Nyako court, Binta Nyako should be able to say, actually, I think Binta Nyako should be out of the picture, but that is by the way. Now, Binta Nyako shouldn't have even been one to handle this case. She's not even up to the standard. She's just a yes boy. Doesn't even have any guts. She doesn't even know justice. But that being the case, if he should appear in Bintanyako's court, Bintanyako should say, yes, it has been proven. Since the referral came from the wherever Supreme Court to you, that and Supreme Court confirmed that he was extraordinarily renditioned, since that is the ruling, that is the law of the land of Nigeria, therefore there is no need to even entertain this in your court, and he must be released. You release him, and also make statement that that case shouldn't be in your court or in any Nigerian court, just like it has been said, just like the other statement was. This is your service. If you don't know your service, this is your service. This is your service. This is what you are supposed to do. This is you. It is very, 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 very unfortunate that the Nigerian the Nigeria versus Mazi Kanu court case has been able to open up Nigeria into a debacle, into a specter, into just a laughing matter, a laughing stock. Nigeria is a laughing stock. Their attorneys don't know their work, they don't know their service, they don't know their place of service. They don't know. The police, they are there harvesting organs, they don't know their work. Even the lawyer, the one of the lawyers that are supposed to be a defense attorney is there working against his own what do they call him again, client, his own client. Now let me read you why I said I was concerned on what Mazi Sochinma posted. He posted, do you know some of these other criminals who have been terrorizing, killing and kidnapping in Osu since 2021 with the name of ESN and Mazi Nnamdi, whom were captured by the Nigeria military and DSS, have all been transferred to Abuja in preparation for Mazi Nnamdi's upcoming kangaroo court case. Our reliable source disclosed that the transfer of these criminals to Abuja is in preparation for Mazi Nnamdi's upcoming trial. Many of them are poised to testify in the court as the trial resumes. And in return, the government of Hope Uzodinma will grant them amnesty. That's why the government wants an accelerated trials, because they have gathered a lot of the evidence from the criminal, trying to use it to nail Mazi Nnamdi on the charges of terrorism. It is believed that huge money has been promised to some people to make sure Mazi Nnamdi is jailed. Some were promised to relocate abroad, some to UK and some to the Eastern European countries. Biafrans, it's time to be on high alert. Yes, some mischievous individuals whom do not know what IPOB represents wants to destroy the movement just because they are fighting with their internal demons and they want others to be part of their costly mistakes. We must defend the Biafra ideology and the freedom for Biafra. Also, we must make sure Mazi Nnamdi is released unconditionally. And then he went on to say that, trust me, it is the radical activism of IPOB that will release Mazi Nnamdi, not any individual family or friend. That's why the government have spent millions trying to destabilize IPOB from within, so that IPOB leadership cannot be coordinated. But thanks to Chukwu Okike Abiyama, that we have already defeated the internal enemies. The restoration of Biafra and the release of Mazi Nnamdi is a mission we must accomplish by fire by force. Now, I want to pick just two things from here, and it says this just from the last two paragraphs. This is very rich, so you can go through it. This is why I was worried that Mazi Ejimako should, because this is security issues, he should publicly make it clear what he said in court. He should publicly say it again and make it clear. If possible, go to Arise TV where he made that blunder and correct it. Now, it says here, trust me, it is radical activism of IPOB that will release Mazi Kanu, not any individual. What is he trying to say? He's trying to say service. Service. Radical activism means now increase your service. If radical, that is increase explosive service. I'm talking about, Onyendu said we will I will destroy the zoo with the truth, and people are wondering, is the truth a weapon? How do you, is it ballistic missile, is it nuclear weapon? What are you talking about? It is a weapon. It is a weapon. Now know how to use the truth. Learn how to use the truth. Some of us have ideas on how to use the truth in order to bring solution, but sometimes you find out that it's either money is the problem to solve a problem, or that. Look at ESN, safeguarding our land. You have Igbo billionaires. This is why it makes me angry when I see buildings, people celebrating those 1-story, 2-story building and all of that. It makes me angry, honestly. I don't have to be calm about it the way you are, but it's okay for you to celebrate it. It just shouldn't. I don't like it being on my timeline. It makes me angry because a reasonable person would rather sell his property and be safe. A reasonable person, somebody with sense, somebody reasonable, would rather invest in safety than in buying properties. So when I see all of those huge things, I'm just thinking, Ndibo, when will the unreasonable be so less? So less, so that because there's never a day that you say people will not be unreasonable. People will always be unreasonable, but when will the unreasonable be less, so that the reasonable will be more? Service. What service are you rendering? You're competing to buy cars, build houses, when your land is in tatters, when you have people who are busy trying to invade your land. You have food insecurity. You have even people called billionaires. I don't know what these people are doing. I don't know, honestly. It's so. Yes, this paragraph talks about radical activism of IPOB. Now, I want you to understand that your job has just started. You think you have been working? When it's like when you're exercising, doing push-ups, when that time it's painful, that is when it begins to work. Somebody actually gave me this information when I was in high school, in government secondary school over GSSO. Somebody said to me, one of my friends then were working out, were carrying I goes then. So and then when it started getting hard, that he said to me, this is when it is working. This is when it is working. It means what you are doing is working. Somebody asked me a question yesterday, very wonderful question. He asked me, what do you think of what the Nigeria Army did, putting the name and picture of Mazi Sochinma? I said to him, simple. I was busy, so I just answered a simple response. I said to him, it is because I said to him, what I think is that anything should be expected. Anything should be expected. Anything. But that is not the only thing I think. I think what it means is that even they have seen that even our leader, holding our leader, it has become disastrous to them. Now let me tell them one more thing. This thing they even are doing, bringing the picture of Mazi Sochinma to their nonsense wanted list, it will even damage them the more. They did not even learn from what the damage that holding our leader has caused them. They are even creating more damage to them. Why would you even shake because of that? One, you expected it. Two, you know that the last one they did created damage to them. Massive damage. It created massive damage to them, that to the point now they are even confused. When you are confused, you see what happens when you are confused. You start creating even more problems for yourself. And that is why they tried all they could to bring confusion into IPOB, even through lawyers, so that you start working against yourself. And today they are now making plans against themselves. They kidnapped Nnamdi. It even worsened their problems. Now they want to even double the problem that they already have. That is how idiotic, because Nigeria is irrational. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Everything they do will always be to the detriment of the zoo. I just said this when we began. Every service they offer, Nigeria is created on a service that is irrational. Every service they bring up must always be to the detriment of Nigeria. Hence I said to you earlier on that any day Nigeria begins to work for your well-being, that will be the end of Nigeria. And they know it. That is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu presented them with a solution. He said, build bridges, build refineries, have this and that employment. These are solutions to the Nigerian problems, tackle insecurity. And they said, no, we know if we start doing this, it's the end of Nigeria. So because of that foundation, because of that irrational foundation, it doesn't even make sense. Every of their arguments will not make sense. Every of their stand will not make sense. Even the army doesn't even know their responsibility now. They are going for land disputes. They are going having blockades on the road when the police are meant to do that. They are going attacking, killing innocent people. What is it that they are supposed to do? They don't even know. They don't even know. How can you make sense when you are having you start a conversation from a place that doesn't even make sense? How will you bring something that doesn't make sense to now make sense? It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. We must understand the power of service. When we engage in service, whether volunteering like we are doing right now, what we are doing is a volunteer work. When you wake up in the morning, you go on Facebook, for those who share and share, for those who comment and comment, for those who make sure that it goes to every nook and cranny, make sure that everybody gets to listen to the gospel. It's a volunteer. You know, I get so offended when people talk about payment. I don't know if you noticed when Mazi Sochinma's issue came up. I was one of the people who stood and said anybody talking about payment to him is just causing trouble. I said it, and even behind his back I've told anybody who brought up the issue of payment that you must be mischievous or you just don't understand what you are doing. How can you say you are paying a man with his family 2,000 rands and you came up on radio to announce it and you are jumping up? Don't you see the correlation between that? In as much as yes, that money could be going to his pocket for fueling of his car like it was agreed on. You people that agreed on it, why don't you people stop the payment or come and say to him, listen, we don't want to continue? You are paying and you are coming on radio to talk about it, which means you are just causing problems. Now look at the correlation between that. I'm not supporting anybody. I'm just telling you. You know, you can, even if you're my enemy, if something is done wrong to you, I can just analyze it and say, no, this is done wrong to you. It doesn't change who you are. It doesn't change the fact that you misbehave or you did. No. It doesn't change that. Yeah. Now, look at the correlation of that to the issue that some fools raised, that Mazi Sochinma was receiving $2,000. An organization that is this big, an organization that is funding the protection of our land. Do you know what it means? Do you know what it means to organize and protect even your house alone? Do you know what it needs. You know that it is capital intensive, and somebody, some fool, is coming from somewhere talking about $2,000. $2,000. $2,000. Is it enough for me? Just me without, that is not as old enough as Mazi Chikedozie, not to talk of someone like Mazi Chikedozie. Is it enough for me in a month? $2,000. You see, there are so many things when people bring up, you wonder if these people, okay, what is their service? What is their service? Somebody who is volunteering, bringing out his time to do this job, and you are talking about payment. You sure the Kwagima? Are you okay? Are you okay? There are people, of course, who before they do anything want to be paid. There are people who before they do anything want to be paid. And that is madness. That is absolute madness. In a struggle like this, which is supposed to be volunteering, your service is a volunteer service. Anything people now do for you is what they do for you. That is the power of service. It comes from the power of service, even though most people who offer public service must stay away from getting gifts. Must stay away from getting gifts, because it becomes, even though it doesn't matter what the agreement to give you that gift is or was, it becomes a point where they can hold on to and make claims, and tomorrow you might not be able to get away from it. Even mentoring, you understand, in this struggle, even the job that you think is irrelevant, you are mentoring somebody. That is service. Or simply by being there for someone. You know, in this struggle it's hard mentally. Just being there, being able to listen to somebody, talk to you about things, talk to you about how he feels angry because of all of these things happening, and you just keep quiet, listen, and then you just say, no, don't worry, it is well. That is service. Why else do you think people are going, today is Sunday, go to church and see people? Because they are comforted. They are comforted. And they told, don't worry, everything will be alright. But it's just that the solution they give them is a wrong solution. So, which means you are going to the wrong service. You are getting the wrong service. Now, the line is open, and you can call in and be part of this conversation. The thing is, we can never really use, I've seen that talking about such issues, it needs a lot of time. It needs time. We have a lot of issues to discuss, and a lot of issues to discuss, a lot of things happening, so, but we are here and the line is open, so you can be part of this conversation, the power of service. And you must understand that this is time for you to now join in the service in whichever capacity that you think you can offer service. Double it in whatever capacity that you have been rendering services. It is time for you to double it. You have been involved in this for a long time now. You must know that there is no way to go back to. Nowhere to go back to. Absolutely nowhere to go back to. I have a caller on the line. Thank you very much, Mazi Sochinma. Please go ahead with your opinion.
Yeah, good morning, Mazi Sochinma.
Good morning, sir.
Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
My name is Emmanuel, and I'm speaking from my location. Thank you once again As always, I greet my leader, our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the man who set up this platform to expose so many evil that was hidden under the heaven. I greet him once again. Yes, I want to add my voice. There was an interview made by Mazi Alozie and one of the barristers, Nemeka Ejiofor. And after so many times, the clip was playing on this radio. I found it important, very, very important, for this second court they are going. It was ordered by the Supreme Court to go to that extent, because what they are trying to do, Nigeria is trying to do, is to see that they say they have jailed our leader. That is to say, if we say we cannot go to court again following the 13th October judgment that was made 2022, they will have all the chance to bring the lawyer they have to do whatever they want to do, even though they jail our leader for even a day. So the only thing is to follow them bomber to bomber so that they will have no chance to do so. But the important thing is to have a reliable barrister that can stand, just like Mazi Ejiofor we have before. That is important. Because if you say you are not going to court again, it's terrible. Very, very terrible. When the man is going on and explaining, he said the judgment given on 13 October last year was ruled that our leader, extraordinary rendition from Kenya, is wrong. Going to his house to kill him is wrong. Revoking the bail is wrong. That was the base of that judgment. And when Nigeria, as they normally do, they take the matter to Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, the same time, condemn extraordinary rendition, condemn revoking the bail, condemn going to kill our leader in his house, refuse to give directive to uphold their people judgment, because they were paid. You know Nigeria now. Now, after condemning the meeting, then they give this line to go to appeal court to renew the bail of our leader and all of that. So if we stop to follow them, it is very dangerous. They will make magumagumagum before you know it. You know Nigeria. Before you know it, they have jail our leader. So what I try to say is this: we have to do everything to see if that barrister that Alozie interview is our own barrister. We look for people who are genuine to continue think you are hearing me.
Yes, I'm hearing you. Please go ahead and summarize. Yes.
So to continue, because if you drop saying that the appeal court have put that no court should try our leader, as some of us are thinking before, is a very big mistake. So that is what I want to contribute on this matter.
Okay.
This Interlaco, in our own case, has given 21 orders, and one of them has been obeyed.
Yeah.
Then why Peter Yoko continue accepting that very case? Why not say that she is not interested? Because all the judgments, up to 21 judgments that she gave, that the DSS is above the law. I wonder why the woman is still talking or holding the matter up till now. Take the time with her. So this is my own suggestion. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mazi. I appreciate your contribution, your suggestion. The truth of the matter is that, Onyendu already even said through these new lawyers that he has arrived at the same conclusion that IPOB arrived a long time ago, that it is useless going through Nigeria court system. Did Onyendu not say that he will not go through the zoo court system again until there is a guarantee of fair trial, fair hearing? That's what Onyendu said, which is the position of IPOB, that Nigerian courts cannot guarantee fair hearing. So anybody bringing out Onyendu, before you bring out Onyendu again in court, you must tell us what is it that you have put in place, what systems have you set in place to ensure that there is fair hearing. If not, if you bring out Onyendu again to court and say it is court date, then we know that it is DSS and DSS that is just dragging him out, forcing him out, because he's made it clear. Even his lawyers made his intention clear. I have a caller on the line. Caller, you are live on Radio Biafra. Please go ahead, introduce yourself and your opinion. Ndeo.
Mazi Sochinma.
Good morning, sir. Ndeo.
I want to use this opportunity to greet every Biafran, and the special group who are always happening in the Kanu. People Kabiam, the people alive, until you get to where you are going. That is Biafra. Like I always said, we are like football. Anything before that, we need to there is no people they are aiming than to score goal. And the only way you score goal, that means you are the winner. We are winning. Our enemies are like a drunkard man or a drunkard man. They have overdrunk and they are stagnant. What we need blame for us to go back and do ES. I'm saying that say that ES is not doing their job before time. They are doing a marvelous job. But I personally am going to do my name is not the question. Coming from my education. It is true that we are at the forefront of the war. Even if our enemy started to care or the suicide or the war broke out, and the case may be. Without knowing the word of God says if it says that the minority are dead, that today you will die, you die. And the man died with both. If you call yourself a real IPOB community or a real Biafra, you are a lover of freedom. You have said this person. When you do it, you are living in the book where we are heading to. And the maybe situation is going to take us that is maybe our last job. Because when it comes to this situation, we see that we are heading to India. We are just like somebody that needs to we try to keep forward. We die. Our BS should not listen to anybody, maybe like us, that we come and announce some certain things in the video because of our purpose. In the mind, everyone, whether you, because when if we are 2 or 3, they are listening to the announcement. One person wants to sometimes when you think I know okay, so they should not listen to what if I give them a wrong direction or if I suggest wrongly, they should not listen to me. Listen to them through this radio. As you people are giving us to the internet, that is true. Let them come on what they have decided to answer. In December, 15 December, 15 December score, they say that no more confidence. They should stand on that. I've not really idea that they have even decided to. Please, we are aiming to score on one day play. When children play, our enemies, they are on foot. And the these people that they are using, they will not sleep. They will make it sleep. They will sleep. If I tell you that they are the people that suggested to them to put this list that our which is on. The man that suggested to the federal government, they should put them on. Put that man in need. So that some of our people will be started shouting. Among the chief, the living is the terrorist, that the man don't even shopping into. So many of us, maybe if you just announce on this radio that I think is bringing 3 hours of life on citizen and school community, you see people, you know that Biafrans have population in this our zone. So, please continue with your doing. If you really anything, please, Amanda, be free. And the preaching, Morocco, thank you that we will be strong and we will have faith. Before we can make up, we will get a energy. So, Mazi Sochinma, people have been our own radio. Because there is not one I am to continue, meditation, continue. We are heaven. We are taking it. What I mean is every day we must do one. Every day we must do one. Even the people that have already decided to face with it, some of them are coming back.
Thank you very much. Ndewo, thank you very much for your contribution. I appreciate you. And thank you very much, Master.
Thank you.
Yes, he made it clear that there is leadership, of course. It doesn't even matter how much we scream and shout. Or they can want to carry neighbor kwasina I don't know, I want this, I want that, I want, you know, a child can even want things that are dangerous to him, and the mother is there saying no, 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 it doesn't matter how much you scream as a child, you are not getting this. It doesn't matter how much you scream as a child, this is not coming to you. And that is the thing. You know, I once said here that we don't even need the leadership to come on the radio to tell us what direction to go to. We don't even need that. If they want to tell us, they have their means to tell us. They don't need to be on the radio all the time telling us. We don't even, we have outgrown the stage where we are crying for Mazi Chike to be coming on air every time. No, we just need him to be doing what he's doing. Nigeria is shaking. They are doing or making all sorts of errors, committing all sorts of blunders. They are shaking. Even this is their own strategy. They brought out this court to use it as their strategy. They brought out this strategy and they have failed. They have failed woefully. They just want to completely destroy themselves. I have a caller on the line. Caller, please go ahead, introduce yourself and your opinion. There, Mazi.
Mazi Sochinma. Great Biafrans. Udochukwu Kukabjama duru ndi homana dema. My name remains Mazi Obasi Ejikeme. I'm calling from the land of Biafra. Our leader is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Biafra is our religion. On this haro platform is where we worship Eze Chukwu Kukabjama, the God of our land, the God of our ancestors. Is our God. That is who we worship. Mazi, there is something you said about Nigeria. You know, this country was created by evil British and managing by them, directing them what to do. But when you go back to their own country, you see that everything is going well. But what they are created, because when we talk about creation, you know, Nigeria was created by human beings, not God. But Igbo people, like Biafra, was created by God. So that is why when we see the evil things, we rejected it. Because God created woman as his image to do his will. But just look at Nigeria, their own. Nobody is following the rules. They are thinking, you know, Nigeria does not have a rules of war. They are not respecting anything because Fulani is in charge. Fulani owns Nigeria. Anybody who are coming to tell you Nigeria is for everybody, the person is mistaken. That is why Nigeria is in line of blackmailing somebody, killing somebody to blackmailing one. Nigeria can kill thousands of people because of one person, to blackmailing one person. That did not check the thousands of they are killing, the head of that thousands they are killing is more than one. As far as they can imprison someone, they can kill. That is why when they are telling you about police army in Nigeria, if Nigeria police can see something that is white, he says black, and he must force you to believe that is black by beating you, killing you. The same thing army. Army does not know their own work again. Everybody is working to double cross each other. They can fight because they wanted to get money. That is why in court, politicians is already damaging Nigeria. Politicians is determining what is happening in the court. Why Bint and Yaku is doing this? Because they are already blackmailing his husband. How can a lawyer give order so many times and there is no anyone they obey, and you continue coming in the same court again? Is it juju or what? You're supposed to say no. As far as I did this, I did that. That is why I hate. You see, this thing we are talking about, I hate being Christianity, because you can never see a Christian stand on the truth and say the truth continuously until the end. No. When you look at him, you will be shaking, looks this side, looking this side, where they push him, he go, where they push the person, he go. See, great Biafrans, we are different people. We are not one. Those who are forcing our leader, that is something I see in those that are forcing our leader to come in court. They are not doing this to release our leader. No. They are doing it to people to know they are in charge. That is why when you look at the day that our leader entered the court, our leader first and see our evils and religious leaders, he first of all announced to them and greet them to turn back, because you passed one person. He wanted to turn back and greet it. The next person that want to come and hug our leader is Aloy Ejimako. And you look at that attitude, you know that it is something this man is looking for. We are Biafra, we have already moved away from all this emotional thinking, emotional something. No, that is why we are IPOB. If we tell you that the time of emotional is gone, we are now facing the reality and the fact. Nigeria can never, our leader said it long time ago, we can never get justice in one Nigeria. No way. Think about the type of billions of naira Nigeria is spending because of IPOB. There's paying bribe to tag IPOB what? Terrorist group. And you're thinking that the same people will turn around and pray justice. No. The only thing is that we must know what we are looking for. We are freedom fighter. We are fighting to liberate ourselves. So great Biafrans, support ESN.
Yeah.
Don't look at all the angles. Support ESN. Train yourself hard so that when you see the fight, you face it immediately. That is why we are tackling all those that are forcing our leader. They wanted to use our leader to do show, to double cross. We have defeated Nigeria hands down. Why must you come and bring us back again to start afresh? Are you insane? Everybody should respect himself. We are being killed because of this. We have been killed because of this. Our blood have been messed up all over the place. And our leader escaped death on 2017. And you are now telling me something.
Yeah.
How many people have died the same day?
Thank you.
Please, everybody should respect himself. Support ESN. And whenever you are bringing more money out, don't look and think somebody will come and give you account of it. Listen to us. We are freedom fighter. We are not a political parties or this and that, where people will pay 100 million to get the paper, to go and learn for this thing. We are freedom fighters. Whatever you bring out is going there, and you are seeing it happen. Mm-hmm. So please, get Biafrans, support ESN, stay together with our leadership. We have the structure, the chain of command. Please, my brothers, that is name you mentioned today. I'm sorry for this. We are still angry with Ikechukwu Onoha.
Yeah.
Because if someone accusing something, we did not accusing him because of he stole something. He said it. Why must you abandon us like that? Because of some people making useless misstatements. He abandoned us like that. No, we are still angry because if we Biafra say that, if we are angry with us, then we can be angry. But no group of people who wanted to bring nonsense to our struggle. No, You see, we should think about that. We are Biafran. We don't too much angry for our people. Whenever we say sorry, remember we say sorry. Thank you, Mazi. May God bless you for your good work. Thank you, Wachimeko.
Ready? Very much. The Kwaragi, thank you very much. This, my comrade, he heard me clearly. I used it as an example anyway, not to qualify or not to qualify his activities or actions. No, that one is something that he'll speak for himself. Everybody, like somebody called the other day and spoke about our leader siblings, and I said there will be a time they have to defend themselves. You know, this is the process that our struggle is going through, where we are defending ourselves. We want to teach every single person that it doesn't matter who is against you, defend yourself. And we cannot be teaching ourselves that and then not give them that opportunity to defend themselves. They will defend themselves. And then we now sit down and ask them questions, and also if things do not go according to how they thought it should go, then the law will take its course. We are trying to raise a society where people will look and say, wow, okay, this is wonderful. We never knew that black people can achieve such feat. I mean, we could have gone to war, but we decided, okay, let us find a way that will ensure I mean, at the end of the day, do you know the level of rationality it takes to maintain communication? It is somebody that is crazy, that is stupid, that just goes to war without even having a conversation. And that is where Nigeria has put us into. That is where Nigeria has put us into. You understand? So let me read a couple of things on couple of comments, and I see this comment from Biafrans. Thank you very much. Somebody was asking if this is live. Yes, this is live, and it's a live program that begins from 5 until 7 Biafra time every morning. And Afunwe Lutana said the mindset of Biafra the mindset of fight to finish is in this Biafra project. Okay, he said the mindset of fight to finish in this Biafra project, it's now going back 100%. Yes, okay, I understand what you're saying. The mindset now is fight to finish. There is no going back, basically. Afunwe Lutana. And then somebody said, let me see, because this we learn from here. Somebody said Nigeria Army has no power. This is by Gina. She said Nigeria Army has no power to declare any citizen wanted. They should go and look for all the snakes that swallowed billions in government. This is just absolutely right. And look at, to even further buttress what she said, look at this news from Sahara Reporters that says, this is dated July 13, 2020, before they even adopted our leader. They said, it goes with a heading that says, court rules that Nigerian army cannot declare citizens wanted. This is Nigeria army doesn't even understand their responsibility, their place of service. They don't know. They have no idea. And it reminds me of this something that happened in Russia, of which just like we understand terror. This is one thing Russia must know. We understand what you people are going through right now. Terrorism shouldn't be something that anybody should clap for. It is not something that anybody should even tolerate. This is what Biafrans we have been going through, and the worst is that at least the people who did this are under the covering of Islamic State. This Nigerian own is the government, the army killing the people, rendering they don't even know their service, the place of service. And this is the more reason why this terrorism in Sahel must be nipped, especially Nigeria. If Nigeria is not brought to its knees, then the terrorism that you guys witnessed in faraway Russia, it is just going to begin, because Nigeria is a place where our leader already said it. that it is a place where they want to use the resources in the land in order to fund terrorism. Look at the government. Look at a government that went outside, employed people to come and kill its own people. The government that recruits terrorists into the army. The army that doesn't even know its responsibility. How would they know their responsibility when they started as slave catchers and then turned into army fighting against the people for the British? And then that is the colonial army, and then now they have terrorists in the army. How will they have a sense of identity? Or even the country has no coherent identity. So to Russians, we understand what you guys are going through. We do. This is what we are fighting every day, and this is why we want to bring the Nigeria to an end. If not, it will be used as a launch pad, a place to fund terrorism and a place to launch their attacks. You see America, you see Britain supporting Nigeria, trying to keep Nigeria one. This is why every lover of freedom, every lover of liberty, every lover of safety must rise up and speak against Nigeria, speak against the persecution of Mazi Kanu, and speak about the persecution of Biafrans. The killing is too much. Enough is enough. Thank you all very much for being part of this program. Thank you all very much for being part of this program. Do have a wonderful, wonderful day. Today is Sunday. You know, this is where we worship. We don't go any other place. This is where we worship. Thank you very much, and do have a beautiful day. To 7 a.m. Biafra time. The time now is 9 minutes past the hour of 5 in the holy and blessed land of Biafra. And today is the 24th day of March 2024. The 24th day of March 2024. We have gathered this morning, this Sunday, here on Radio Biafra, because this is where we worship. This is where we conscientize ourselves. This is where we motivate ourselves. Today, we will be here having discussions, having contributions like we usually do on this platform.